Well, let's get started. Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Simenza. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see from the title, today is going to be my full review with spoilers of the latest Netflix series, Wednesday. This is made by Tim Burton and it stars Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them just to see if this was worth it or not, on the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review because I like to give you guys the two options. So giving that little token disclaimer ahead, let's get into the video. Now, Wednesday follows Wednesday Addams' years as a student when she attempts to master her emerging psychic ability towards and solve the mystery that has embroiled her parents. Basically, the series, just like the plot says, is going to follow Wednesday into the Nevermore Academy after she got expelled from her old high school because she got revenge on Pugsley's bullies with piranhas on a pool. I don't need to say more. Now, this scene is actually shown already on the trailer, and even Netflix released the first 10 minutes of the first episode, so they're even available around on the internet. And basically, we're going to be seeing her because, like the plot says, Morticia and Gomez, they had a secret that, of course, no one knew until now. Since we learned that this is the school where Morticia and Gomez, they fell in love. And we know how lovey-dovey they are, and we love them. Now, this review is going to be a brief summary of the series. There are 8 episodes with 40 minutes each one, like on the average, and the things that I like it and the things that I dislike it, and giving my general opinion. I'm going, of course, to give spoilers, but I don't want to give that much because, being honest, I think that this one definitely deserves the chance. But I don't want to ruin the experience, although I will be giving you spoilers, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to go that deep into every single detail because, of course, it's also 8 episodes. This will be too long. So it's cool. We met her roommate, that is Enid. I love her. She's this werewolf and she's very colorful and happy. Such an opposite contrast to Wednesday. I love it, her personality. I actually thought that I was going to find her annoying. I didn't. I actually found her very funny, and she's a very nice girl, and she becomes a really good friend to Wednesday, although Wednesday, we know that she's very antisocial. She does not express emotions at all. At some point, she's going to. Now, Morticia and Gomez are leaving Wednesday, although she doesn't want to, and Gomez decides to send Thing to basically take a look on Wednesday during her time in Nevermore Academy. Of course, Wednesday is found out, and Thing is going to be her psychic, and it's going to be pretty normal on the school, the fact that she has a hand with her, like just a hand, because of course at this school it's made for werewolf, vampire, sirens, and people who aren't normies, who are the outsiders is what they're called, and normies are just humans and normal people, like it's kind of obvious. Very early on the series, we are introduced to Christina Ricci's character, that in case that you don't know who is she's the Wednesday Addams from the 90s, and the one that for many, it's the best Wednesday. But I have some things to say about that. But she is a teacher. She's actually the only normie that is on the Nevermore Academy, and it's very fond of plants. Like, she even gives to Wednesday on her first day in school a plant that is actually pretty cool. It's a black dahlia, and even Wednesday say that it's her favorite because that's one of her favorite murders. In case you don't know, that's a case that you can search. It's actually pretty interesting and pretty famous, actually. So we have this first days of Wednesday. She has some fencing lessons, something that we saw also on the trailer. Basically, the trailer what gives is essentially the first episode scenes. Like, I rewatched the trailer and it doesn't give away that much. They show the dancing that happens, I think that is in the 4th episode. Being completely honest, I don't remember it, but it's this scene that you're probably going to be seeing around a lot because it's one of the scenes that has been talked the most, and of course I love that scene. Now, Morticia and Gomez and their secret. Basically, Gomez was accused of murder, but it was an accident, and in fact it was Morticia, the one who killed the man, by accident, self-defense. She didn't know what the hell she was doing. She was just protecting Gomez. And this whole murder is, of course, related to the things that are happening because like the plot says, Wednesday has some psychic abilities, but she hasn't said a word about it. And she touches something and she's going to have visions. Sometimes she blacks out, sometimes it's pretty quick. But with those visions, she's going to realize that there's a monster among this school and that something was happening, and that is related to actually one of her ancestors that is actually portrayed by her, but just blonde. And she was accused of witchcraft, but she was able to escape and she got her revenge eventually. And it's all correlated, but it's a lot. So, of course, I will not be giving, like I said, every single detail. Now, Wednesday has two potential romantic interests. We have Xavier and we have Tyler. And it's this kind of triangle romance type of thing, but not so much, because she basically it's with Tyler most than with Xavier. And I wanted Tyler and Wednesday to be together, but they don't end together. They don't. To my surprise, Tyler, it's the monster. Like I just gave a huge jump on the story, being honest. But Tyler and her, they start as friends, but of course he likes her, and he's not on the school. He actually is a normie, and he works on a cafe. And Wednesday meets him the first day that she tries to escape, and of course she's not able to, but they start a relationship and this type of friendship, and they go to the dance together. Like I said, for me that dance scene was amazing, like iconic. But Tyler is the monster that she has been seeing on the visions and that she actually saw. And the real villain actually in the story is not him, but actually Christina Ricci's character. She was related to the family that basically tried to kill Wednesday's ancestors, like the one that was on the witch trials. She's related to that type of people. Was there for bad reasons, and there was also this type of prophecy that was correlated to also Wednesday, and she knew about it. And she's actually the villain. Now, I was surprised by this because when we were told that Christina Ricci was going to be on the series, we were told that she was going to be in a small role. I wouldn't call being the villain a small role. I probably think so. I'm thinking that was a way to mislead the audience, because she's, of course, presented as this innocent teacher, but of course she's not. And essentially the series ends on a cliffhanger. Tyler being taken away and he transforms himself into the monster once again, but everything is resolved. Of course, that Matricia and Gomez were in a sense, because the person that they killed, he was actually possessed. He wasn't in his senses. And that all was the teacher, and that Wednesday was right, because she accused first Xavier of being the monster, but then she realized that she made a mistake, and she was trying to make everyone realize that it's Tyler. But of course he played his part, and of course no one believed her, and it was her against everyone, even Enid. Like I said, at some point she shows her emotions, and she even talks about having a heartbreak. Her first heartbreak was having to see her scorpion pet being killed by a car because some bullies, they provoke it. The second heartbreak that we see is actually when Enid leaves her as a roommate. Like, I can't be with you anymore, you don't care about us. And I wouldn't say that she doesn't care. It's not that we know that Wednesday does not show emotions. So they see as Wednesday do not actually caring about them and only using them for her own purposes. And the third heartbreak, it's when Thing dies. He gets stabbed and he is resurrected by Uncle Fester. We saw that on the trailer. Uncle Fester appears on the last episodes. A small apparition, but he is able to bring Thing back, and you can really see her emotions shifting. Like, she's actually heartbroken. So without saying much, you can really see that she's heartbroken. And it's in that moment that she makes a switch in her mind and realizes that she needs to protect the people that she actually cares of, and in this case right now are her friends. So she's going to do whatever she can in order to save them, and she does. But like I said, the end leaves on a cliffhanger. Tyler becoming the monster again, although he's basically taken away from the school. Xavier and her are on good terms. but we don't know what is going to happen. Now, if a second season is happening, I have no idea. I haven't heard or read anything yet. I'm assuming that they're waiting until this week passes or maybe a few weeks later to see if it's worth doing a second season. In my opinion, I think that they should. I want to know what the hell is going to happen. Definitely, I want to know. Now, on the things that I like at first, of course, Jenna Ortega's Wednesday. She's perfect. I remember she was announced, and at the moment she was announced was on May of 2021. In that moment, I didn't even knew who she was. I only knew who she was because of Disney Channel. I haven't seen her. I know that she's on the second season of You. I only saw the first one. I never saw the second season. So of course I didn't knew how good she was. Of course we saw her on Scream. That was proof enough for me. That was proof enough. Then we saw her, of course, in X. And she proved it this year that she was more than worthy to become a strong competitor against Christina Ricci's version of Wednesday. And in my opinion, I think that she's equally as good. There are different versions, but I definitely believe that Jenna Ortega did such a good job. Like, amazing. I was watching some of her interviews, something that you're going to notice if you haven't watched it already, or maybe if you did, but maybe you didn't. She does not blink. I was like, how the hell? I noticed, like, I think that by the second or third episode, it's like I realized, wait, she's not blinking. Like, she's doing, of course, I cannot do it like her, but she's doing like tugging her chin, looking up, and like the brows, like this. But she's not blinking, like she's like this. I cannot do that. Like, my eyes will start burning, and the only thing that is with her eyes, she gives every emotion with her eyes. Of course, you'll be saying Wednesday giving emotions. She does. Like I said, she does give emotions from time to time. Only her eyes, and that's amazing. Now, the dance scene, I love it, that scene, so much because it screams Wednesday. I have seen some people saying that it was cringy and it was like embarrassing to watch. I'm sorry, but that was Wednesday. The movement, the dress was beautiful. I want that dress in my life, and I need it. Like, the way that she's dancing with no expressions, perfect. Like, seriously, just perfect. And actually, that scene has a reference to Carrie. It's a dance, of course. We're going to have some blood. It happens, but of course, it wasn't her. Like, at least it wasn't her fault. But I love it her. Now, the costumes. The costumes, I think that they fit perfectly because they are more modern than Victorian. That was the goal of the costume designer, because I read some interviews of her. And she wanted to portray a more modern Wednesday without losing the essence, and also the way that she combined the black and white on her outfits. It's perfect because they're Scream Wednesday, but being so modern at the same time. It's just perfect. The music. Danny Elfman is the composer of the score. That man, of course, with the director, Tim Burton. I love them. They're my favorite duo when it comes to filmmaking. When I see that it's Tim Burton, of course, with Danny Elfman, I am so hyped already. I love them together. Danny Elfman has such a talent. And of course, Tim Burton. And they're together. Perfection. Now, another thing that I love was the setting. The Nevermore Academy actually remind me a little bit to Bates Motel, like the house of Norman. It remind me just a little bit on the outside. But I love the uniforms. They're so cool. Actually, Wednesday's uniform is full black, while the rest of the school, of course, is kind of bluish purple, because on the behind the scenes, it looks purple, but on the series, it looks more blue. So that's why I'm saying purple, bluish. But look at pretty cool. And I love her, like her whole black uniform. I actually bought it. Hot Topic is selling the blazer and the mini backpack that resembles the one that she uses on the series. I just bought it. I couldn't handle myself. I mean, it's beautiful. I want to do that cosplay. It's pretty easy, actually. So definitely I will be doing that cosplay. Now, the only thing that I didn't like is how inconsistent and the plot holds. The plot becomes very inconsistent. There are many things that are just left behind, because at the beginning, she sees a kid be murdered. And he appears the next day at school, and then we realize that it was another character that is the principal of the school, that she's a shape shifter. But they never gave anything else, like why she's hiding this murder, what she is hiding, because she didn't know about the plan of the teacher. She had no idea what was happening. So why? And also, he's been treated as being alive. Even Xavier at some point says that he texted him. So something was missing there. That and other stuff, definitely they didn't match. So leaves me with many questions. I don't know if they made it on purpose for them to be answered in the season 2, or maybe they just completely missed the point. And the second thing, it's Gomez and Morticia. Although I really like it, Luis Guzman, who is a Puerto Rican, as Gomez, and Catherine Zeta-Jones, at least physically they look it okay. They do not match the 90s version. It's the chemistry. There's something missing that is not them. Physically they are, but the emotions, the passion is not there. So those two things will be the only things that I dislike it. But for the rest, I love it, this series. I know for a fact that I was going to. Regardless if it was good or bad, I know, because I love the Addams. I love Wednesday Addams. She's one of my favorite characters ever. So I knew that I was going to enjoy it. Also, the opening credits, they're perfect. I love them. They remind me a little bit of Edward Scissorhands' opening credits. Of course, by obvious reasons, they were made by the same guy. Tim Burton, he always knows how to keep his aesthetics and his particular things together. He never misses. But being very objective, of course this series is not perfect, but it's actually a pretty good one. So this one is, of course, a must watch if you love Tim Burton, and if you love Jenna Ortega, or if you love the Addams, and if you love all of them together, it's even more perfect. So I will give this series a 4 out of 5, because like I said, there were only 2 things that were bad. The majority of these series is pretty good, so I can't be that harsh either. So for me, this is a 4 out of 5 and a 7.5 out of 10. So if a second season, like I said, is coming, no idea. I would love to, because definitely I want to know what the hell is going to happen with Tyler and Xavier and Wednesday. What the hell is going to happen? I need to know, because I am pretty sure that this school has more. This series feels so detective, teenagers. Some people have compared to the CW type of thing, but no, hell no. I don't think that they like Riverdale, for example. I actually watched the first seasons, because the first season is actually good. The rest one's awful, but I don't think that they compare. I don't think that they are on the same level. Definitely for me, Wednesday is way better. So I enjoyed this series a lot. I want to rewatch it, actually. I will be rewatching it. But this is all for the review. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought. If you like it, you didn't. Your favorite part, your favorite character, let me know. Now, my upcoming reviews are Bones and All, that I'm going to be watching that today. Today is Friday. I will be watching that film today. And Chucky Season 2 that ended on Wednesday. I'm going to be rewatching the series once again. I want to rewatch second season during the weekend so I can do a proper review, because of course it's a series. I need more time to sit down and properly think and really express how I felt, and more details. Series, they deserve more time for me than just a film. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Bye.